YouTube, what's going on? Stash 215 Champ here. This is going to be part two of my E3 predictions. Now, I had everything packed into one video that was about 30 to 45 minutes. But then when I uploaded the video, I noticed it was only 15 minutes. So for some reason, the video got cut. Must have did something wrong. So wanted to do another video. I think the thing I forgot is the things that I want to see at E3. That pretty much probably won't be there, but just different things I want to see at E3. Yeah, but let's go do this video tomorrow because I'm actually just coming back from the gym, getting comfortable, got my night clothes on and everything like that. But wanted to get this video up. I know you see the little pad thing right here. I had dislocated my shoulder like 2 days ago, so this is just an icy hot patch to help, heal it a little bit. It's still sore. I had to pop my damn arm back in place, so that wasn't fun. But let's get started. I got my laptop here. So one of the things um, that I guess I expect, no, that I want to see at E3 is some Zelda info. I know the Zelda for the Wii U is technically delayed till 2016. That was rumored that it was delayed till 2016, and now it's, some rumors floating around that it might be delayed to 2017. So I'm wondering if the game will come out on Wii U or will they delay it and just put it on the Nintendo NX. Now I know they said, Nintendo said that Zelda won't, be making an appearance or anything. But that doesn't mean they won't give up any information. So maybe they'll announce a legit release date on it, or if it's going to be pushed back until which date or whatever. So that's just something that I would like to see. I would also like to see a release date for the division. Now, Ubisoft has been showing commercials, trailers of Rainbow Six Siege. And the game looks great. I want Rainbow Six Siege, but their game that I'm that's on my most anticipated list is the Division. I want to play the Division, and if I had a choice between that and Rainbow Six Siege, as much as I want to play Rainbow Six Siege, I want to play the Division a lot more. So I want to see a release date because they kind of gone quiet on it, and the only thing the most recent thing I've seen was images that was posted online of the Division, like I guess like an early build or whatever that somebody leaked of the game. But after that, I haven't heard anything. So I would like to get a release date for the Division. I'm hoping it comes out this year. I have a bad feeling. I don't want to jinx it, but I have a bad feeling they're going to delay it to next year, and I'm going to lose my fucking mind if they do. I wanted to come out this year, but I got a good feeling they're going to delay it until next year. So, I mean, I hope not. If they do, it's going to sting, but we got a lot of, other great games coming out. But the Division is one of the top games that I want to play. Um, Also, this is a big one that I want to see at E3, but I don't even want to psych myself up or get hyped up for it because I know it's not going to happen. But Shenmue III and The Last Guardian. We've been dancing around these two games for a long time. Me, it's been Shenmue 3. The Last Guardian is something I recently learned about maybe a few years ago. And I mean, look at the trailer, I can see why people are hyped up about this game and want this game to happen. It looks great. I mean, the Shadow of the Colossus was a great game. This is supposed to be, I guess, the spiritual successor of that game. But it looks great. It looks like a combination of Shadow Colossus and the game ICO for the PS2. But the game looks great. But you have on the Sony end, they're like, okay, Last Guardian is not delayed. I mean, not canceled, sorry. Not canceled, but they're not showing any new trailers, no gameplay, no images. They don't even talk about it. So to me, it's like, if you're not going to come out with the game, just say you're not going to come out with it now. Fans are going to be pissed off. I'm going to be pissed off. Fans are going to be pissed off. But as gamers, what we would rather hear is the truth. Just be honest. And if the game is not coming out, say it. But don't string people along having people believe this game is going to come out and it's not. I mean, there's even if they were to this year say Last Guardian is not canceled, but they don't show anything, people are going to still believe that this game is going to come out. You're going to have those people that's still going to be following, trying to trail behind this game, hoping to get some kind of information out of about the game. If the game is not going to come out, just say it's not going to come out. Same thing for Shenmue 3. Oh, I loved Shenmue. That was one of my favorite games. Now I know I had Shenmue 2. I think it was on the original Xbox and the Dreamcast. I know I had two copies of Shenmue. One was for the Dreamcast, one was for the Xbox. I can't remember if it was the first one or the second one. Great game, definitely ahead of its time when the game came out. Big cliffhanger in Shenmue 2, and then 3 just it was just gone, disappeared. There was no Shenmue 3 and been waiting ever since. And this is another thing, like if the game is not going to come out, just say it's not going to come out. I don't want to hear we're thinking about it, we're talking about it, we're looking at it, we're having lunch, talking about it. It might happen. It might be something we're looking at. No, fuck that. Just say the game is not going to come out. Because I see developers talk, like that all the time and say, oh, Shenmue 3, we're thinking about it. It's something we're interested in looking at or something we're interested in thinking about. Last Guardian, it's not canceled. It's just crazy, man. If the games are not going to come out, if you know for a fact you won't release these games, either of the two, just say it. Just come out and say it like, it's canceled. Sorry, guys, this is and that. You got people pissed off at you with pitchforks and everything like that. But at the end of the day, we will definitely know that it's not going to happen. Because even me, it's been years since since Shenmue 2, right? So I'm still hopeful for Shenmue 3. Every E3, I'm like, okay, maybe they'll show like a trailer or something like that. But for the most part, it's not going to happen. If it does, it'd be crazy. Shenmue or Last Guardian, either one or both. Can you imagine if Shenmue 3, they showed Shenmue 3, a trailer for Shenmue 3, in The Last Guardian at E3? It'd be fucking crazy. It would be crazy. But pretty much no, those games. I feel like those games are not going to come out. But if they do, cool. Show a trailer. It doesn't have to be gameplay. Just show a trailer. Let people know that you're working on it and that it's real. But if it's not real, don't hype everybody up. But that's what I just wanted to say about Shenmue and The Last Guardian. Let's see what else we got here. Let me scroll down. Prototype 3. That'd be pretty good if they can come out with that. I do want to see that. Because I like the first and the second one. Second one I like better than the first one, but I mean, with this, next generation hardware, a new prototype is gonna look crazy. Condemn 3, I beat the first and the second one. I still have them. That's a game I always wonder, if they were gonna, make a third one. That's a game that deserves a third one. That game looked crazy. What else we got here? So I got a long list. I'm trying to figure out what I talked about, when I didn't. So I'm just going through the list. A new Fusion Frenzy. Now I know people, are going to be like, well, why would you want a new Fusion Frenzy? I believe Fusion Frenzy has potential now. I have the first one, I have the second one, and my problem with Fusion Frenzy is I think the game has potential. I think my problem about Fusion Frenzy is they have a lot of mini games, but a lot of them are not enjoyable, at least to me. So I think if they came out with a new Fusion Frenzy, had some mini games and had them, enjoyable. You know how Mario Party is. I never haven't played the new one, so I don't know if the new one is any good. But the older ones, Mario Party, they had a good amount of mini games, and for the most part, most of them was enjoyable. With Fusion Frenzy, it's like there's a lot of mini games, but a lot of them are not enjoyable. Only a few of them are, at least to me. So make a Fusion Frenzy game, put a lot of mini games in there, make them enjoyable, and have some kind of multiplayer. I don't understand why the first one, and I don't think the second one had any kind of online multiplayer either. In these party games, like you might not have, two or three people or four people to play with you at home or whatever. So why not have it, online where people can still play, have fun with their friends online, 4 or 6 players, however many amount of players you're gonna put in there. But to me, Fusion Frenzy has potential to be a good game. Definitely doubt we will see that period, but it's just a thought, just something I thought of that would be pretty cool to see. Full Auto 3, because I played the first one. The second one I think was on PS3. A new Full Auto game or any kind of car combat game. We don't see a lot of those. Last one I think was maybe Twisted Metal on the PS3. We need more of those car combat games. It's too few and far between, and we don't see a lot of them. So if not a full auto, maybe a split second. Split second was awesome. I would love to see a new split second. Um, or what else? You got Blur. Just any kind of cool car combat game. We don't see a lot of those. A new, new Fight Night, man. I get to them with the Fight Night. I'll let you know right now. I get to them with the Fight Night. So I know EA is having a conference. Oh, please show a new Fight Night. You got the UFC. UFC is okay. It just has a learning curve, which is not bad, at least for me. I practiced with it and I got good at it, but it's not a game where if I have a friend come over, they can just hop on. I mean, they can hop on and play. They'll get their asses kicked. But it's a game where you gotta take a little time to learn the grapples and everything like that. And if you just want to pick up and play with your friend, it's not a game you can do that. Fight Night, you can do that more so than UFC. But I still like UFC, but need that Fight Night. So please, Fight Night. Uh, a new Bloody Roar. I believe this year is the year of the fighting games in general. We have Mortal Kombat that just came out. Dead or Alive 5, the remastered or whatever version came out. Still have Killer Instinct. You have Tekken coming out. You have the new Naruto game I think comes out this year. Had Dragon Ball Z come out this year. So why not throw Bloody Roar in the mix? That's a fighting game I believe that doesn't get looked at. Period. And I just go and look at the back to the PS2 days and look at the game and I'm just like, yo, why they don't remake it? Like, Bloody Roar was a great game. I think the last one came out for GameCube. That might have been the last Bloody Roar that ever came out. It's been a long time, coming for a new Bloody Roar. So that would be pretty cool to see a new Bloody Roar. I definitely would be down for that. I would buy that day one. What else I got here? I got Condemned. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, the Getaway. There was another game that came out on the was that PS2, the Getaway and the Getaway Black Monday. Love those games. Uh, have no idea why there's not a new Getaway. Like, I mean, Sony, Microsoft too. They have a good amount of titles, but Sony has so many titles, older titles they're sitting on that they can like really do remakes on, and I wouldn't want them to, do a sequel or whatever to a game just for the sake of doing it. But The Getaway was a great game, at least in my opinion. So I think that's something that deserves, it deserves another game. Also, Driver, the last, I don't know if I talked about this in my previous video, but the last Driver really, really wanted me to it almost made me crack that fucking disc. Cause it's just like, I don't even know how to explain it. The story was just stupid as hell. It was like a guy in the hospital, but he had some kind of powers where he can jump into other people's bodies while he's in the hospital, and he could jump in a different car. It just was stupid as hell. It was just like playing. I'm trying to think of a game with established story mode. I don't know. Say if you just play Metal Gear Solid, right, and then Snake, he decide that Snake is, oh man. It's like say they just okay, we're gonna turn Snake will be, I don't know, half an octopus or some dumb shit like that, and he'll, I don't know, be in the Sky Kingdom, just something dumb like that. It's just like the series just made a big jump from what it was to just something completely different. Like it was like okay, in these games you normally play, like I think the third one you played as like an undercover detective or something. It's been a while since I played it, so if you remember what it was, comment below. But I think the story was you played as like an undercover detective, and it was similar. They had the Grand Theft Auto feel because it was free roam, but you played as a cop, and it had a difference to it. The game was great, and it's like it jumped from that to just having being some kind of supernatural weirdo kind of shit. And that's just my opinion. Like you have people that might actually enjoy the game, but for me, I just didn't expect it. It threw me off, and it just didn't really make sense. Like he was in a coma, and then he was like, but he can jump into people's bodies and jump through different cars and shit like that. Come on, man. Anyway, make a new driver. Don't put none of that shit in it, please. Just put something else. Different, any other story mode than that. That just no. Yeah, but a new driver would be good. It'd be great. What else we got? A new Crash Bandicoot or Spyro. Another long time coming. If I had to pick between Crash and Spyro, I would pick Crash over Spyro. I love both of the games, but Crash was the man, and I would love to play a new Crash Bandicoot. Even if they were to take the older ones from like PlayStation One or whatever, and maybe I don't know, remaster them or just put them in a bundle. I would buy them to play them. I didn't play them in years, but I prefer not to have that. I prefer to have a new Crash Bandicoot. Um, but I hope so. It doesn't hurt to be hopeful. So hopefully they have a new Crash Bandicoot. Maybe not, but you never know. Battletoads. I know at what was it, the Windows 10 event, I believe Phil Spencer had a Battle Toads, sorry, shirt on, and we know they have the rights to Rare and Battle Toads or whatever. Um, and I just believe they're gonna show Battle Toads at E3. I mean, they had the shirt on the Windows 10 event, so they had to. I mean, it's not a secret that they've been working on a Battle Toads game. And the fact that he wore the shirt to the Windows 10 events let me know that they probably got a good amount of work done. I mean, you never know, but at least a trailer or something. But I believe we'll see some Battletoads at E3. At least I hope so. I haven't played Battletoads in a long ass time since I was a kid, so I mean it brings back memories. So hopefully, if they do Battletoads, what they're doing, but if they show some Battletoads, hopefully it's done right. I hope they don't ruin the franchise or anything like that. But I'm excited to see, some Battletoads. Resident Evil. I did a video when I read an article about a new Resident Evil in the Black Ops 3 releasing this year now. With Black Ops 3, turned out the article was right. They released in Black Ops 3. It is coming out this year. Haven't heard anything on the new Resident Evil. Um, and I believe it was last year. I read a couple articles saying that there were new Resident Evil coming out, and had a bunch of different rumors saying that the girl Alice from the Resident Evil movie was supposed to be in the game, and I was really hoping that wasn't going to happen because it's just like no, that's like to me the Resident Evil game and the Resident Evil movie are two completely separate worlds. They share the Resident Evil name, but no, don't bring Alice over to Resident Evil with the weird ass X-Men powers she got. Let her stay in the movie. She do the Resident Evil movies and let us keep Resident Evil. Uh, but yeah, I hope they do. I like Revelations 2. I didn't like Revelations 1. Revelations 2, I did enjoy the game, but to just be the last Resident Evil I played, I wouldn't want that. I mean, the game is good, but it's a little too arcadey for a Resident Evil game. To me, it just didn't feel like Resident Evil. It felt like it could have been some other kind of arcadey horror game, or I don't know. But the game is good. It's not bad. It's definitely worth the money spent on the episodes to play through the game to get, you know, to play through it and get through them. The game is good, but yeah, we need a new Resident Evil. That just wasn't it. And I know a lot of people are picky. You got people that want action. You got people that want, horror. And at the end of the day, you can't please everybody. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of, flack for this, but I actually enjoyed Resident Evil 6. Now it was sloppy, you know, and it was all over the place. But what I think they tried to do, I think they tried to just kind of please everybody. It had like the action story mode, which was more so, Chris Redfield story mode, similar to Resident Evil 5, except for you had creatures with guns and stuff like that. I didn't like that shit. Then you had Leon's, which was more of a slow pace kind of horror, part. Then you got Jake, which I think had a balance between the action and the horror parts. You had this thing chasing you that was similar to Nemesis. Out of all of them, I think Ada Wong had the best horror, feel. Because when you beat the three story modes, you get Ada Wong's story as unlockable. And to me, it was because you played with her by yourself. You didn't have like a extra person with you or whatever. And it was, a little bit more slow paced than Leon's, at least to me. So, I think they're just kind of all over the place and they're not really sure what they want to do with Resident Evil. And I think the reason for coming out with Resident Evil HD remake was to get money, but at the same time, I think probably see how many people will buy this game, how many people are interested in, Resident Evil being, survival horror-ish to that degree. The older Resident Evils. Now, the pace of the older Resident Evils, I definitely would love that in the game. The controls, no. Some people still want the controls. Over time, you got to progress, and we don't need those kind of. We don't need 10 controls on these next gen consoles playing Resident Evil. So I think they should. I think with Resident Evil 6, I don't think the controls is really too bad. I think like the moving and shooting was needed definitely to me, and I know some people would think that Resident Evil 5, when you couldn't move and shoot at the same time, kind of left a handicap on you, and kind of was part of how the game was. But I think they can do a Resident Evil while they move and shoot like Resident Evil 6, and it wouldn't be bad. I think they should just take it back to being slow paced horror how the older Resident Evils was, but not the 10 controls. We don't need the 10 controls of the older Resident Evils, but hopefully they do come out with a new Resident Evil, and I wanted to release this year. It doesn't even have to release this year, but I would like to see a trailer or something, or just something. You know, Let me know something. I want to see something or hear something about the new Resident Evil. At least it's been pretty quiet for a while. Last game was Resident Evil Remake HD, and then you have the Resident Evil Revelations. And if I had to pick between the two, I would pick the Resident Evil HD version over Resident Evil, Revelations 2. I enjoyed Revelations 2, but I didn't enjoy it as much as Resident Evil HD remake. And I think it's because, it just takes me back to a place where I played the older Resident Evils and everything like that. So by default, it's not fair anyway, because all the older ones are my favorite Resident Evils anyway. But um, if I had if I had to choose between the style of the two to be the next game, it'd definitely be Resident Evil HD remake. The Resident Evil Revelations 2, it just like was playing like a full blown arcade style Resident Evil, and I like the game, but as Resident Evil, no. So new Resident Evil definitely. Um, Silent Hills. Now I know we're not gonna see Silent Hills ever again. It's just gone. It's just gone with the wind. Uh, but I'm being hopeful now. It's so hard to talk about Silent Hills because it has so much potential. Just with Del Toro and Ritas and Hideo Kojima, the game was just looking like it just was looking close to being the biggest horror game we ever played, and all we had was a playable teaser, which probably wasn't even going to be how the game was even going to be played, but just a glimpse of what they were trying to do, or I guess like that with PT. And you just have all this just crazy nonsense, and nobody knows what's going on with Kojima and Konami. And it could be anything. It could be something going on Kojima's end. It could be something going on Konami's end. My guess is that Kojima, like other people are saying, is tired of making Metal Gear. It seems like the legit answer to what's going on. And if that's really the case, then I mean you guys shouldn't be better. Like he's been making Metal Gear for like forever. And he wants to do, if he wants to do different games, let him try different titles, different IPs. He's a creative man, so I'm pretty sure another IP he would make, people would be on board with buying that. This is the guy that makes Metal Gear Solid. That's one of the biggest games, ever. It has you can't even count how many fans. I'm one of the biggest Metal Gear Solid fans. That's my top game. So it's like he could have, came out with a new IP that said, I don't know, turtle running on the leaves, and people would just buy it just because it's Kojima. They'd be like, okay, I know he's going to come out, with something. I know this game is going to be creative. It's going to be crazy, and I'm just rambling on about it. But that might not even be it. But if that's the situation, then you guys are crazy for letting him go on those terms. And nobody knows what's going on with Kojima or Konami, like I said. But at the end of the day, I believe they still should have came out with the game anyway. Silent Hills, you got people playing this PT game. You hyped everybody up, and it's like they was hooked on this PT demo, and you got people talking about it. Got all this good publicity with the game, and now you just making it vanish. Everybody's scrapped from the project. Silent Hills is scrapped. You pull on the PT pulled the PT demo from the PlayStation Network. It's just crazy. It's just crazy, man. And Silent Hill, sorry, is one of my favorite series too. If I had to pick five, and it'd be hard to pick five, it'd be Metal Gear, Silent Hills, Resident Evil's in there, but it hasn't been the same. Mortal Kombat. I can't really pick five. Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto. Uh, yeah, like I said, Silent Hill is one of my favorite survival horror games, right next to what Resident Evil was. And you ruined it. You ruined it. You got rid of Kojima and everybody else, and you just Konami scrapped the project. And the crazy thing is, they're taking his name off of his, just Metal Gear Solid boxes and all kind of things like that. It's crazy. And I was going to buy the collector's edition with the snake arm because it looked cool as hell, and it was going to be a good collector's edition. But now I don't even want it. You guys are taking his name off everything, being petty. I don't want it. I'm just going to get the regular edition or whatever edition they got after that. I'll probably get it. But if they just had the regular edition and the collector's edition with the arm, I don't even want the damn arm anymore. Konami's so petty. I don't even want the damn arm anymore. Um, but Silent Hills, it would be a miracle if this. I don't think this is a hoax at all. But if it was some kind of crazy hoax, it would be. That would be. Oh man, that would be crazy. That would be a big sigh of relief. But like I said, we're not going to hear nothing about Silent Hills. It's just wishful thinking. It's on the list with some of these other games I know are not going to be at E3 or talked about. But I mean, I don't understand. You guys got signatures. You got interest. I don't even know what number the signatures are at. I know it's in the thousands. And you got all this interest for Silent Hills, and you're just still just like, no, we're not going to do the game. You guys are not going to get it. After you got everybody hyped up for it, everybody played this PT demo, you give it to them, and you just took it right back. It's like you held Silent Hills up in front of your face, like, oh, this shit is gonna be cool. It's gonna be the best survival horror game. We got this person, that person, that person. As soon as you got everybody hyped up for it, he's like, oh no, it's done. Just toss this to the side. I mean, you're trying to get people to forget the game existed. It's one of the games everybody wanted. It's like us seeing the Division. You see how we seen gameplay of the Division, trailers, people were hyped up for it, and then out of nowhere, Ubisoft is just like, okay, we're not doing Division no more. That game is scrapped. You go you gonna lose your fucking mind. So that's how it is with Silent Hills, and that's crazy, and it's unfortunate, but I do hope that if that's the issue and Hideo Kojima leaves, he does get to make his own IPs. I'll definitely support him. I mean, he's a creative dude. Metal Gear Solid, like I said, is one of my favorite games. So I would like to see him do other things. We know he can do Metal Gear. We definitely know he can do Metal Gear, but I want to see him do other things. And the crazy thing is when he leaves or whatever, he's not even be working on Metal Gear anymore. So who knows where the series is gonna go? I think the series is gonna start to flop without him, to be honest. And that's just how I feel about it. So that's whatever. But anyway, that's another topic for another day. Uh, but Silent Hills, who knows? They're not gonna talk about it, but it's just something. Like I said, I had this list up for the different games or just different ideas I had of what I wanted to see. The first video is what I expected to see at E3, and this list is just things I was thinking about that I wanted to see at E3. So let me know what you want to see at E3 and what you expect. Comment down below. I appreciate you guys watching my video and appreciate the support I am getting. And I will be posting out videos more frequently. And I will see you guys on my next video.